Hello and welcome back to ISpeakSpokeSpoken. My name is James and I'm an English teacher and a native British English speaker. So today we're going to be talking about the word ending ed. So this is quite a common word ending in English, being the word ending that is usually on normal verbs, not irregular verbs, when we have the past simple. So we'd say, he wanted, he filled, he kissed. So you may use this as the past simple as in regular verbs. So that's very important to know. Fabulous. So the thing that we're going to be talking about today is how there are three different endings that you can have on the ed. So you can have three different sounds, you see. So they all have ed at the end, but some of them may have a t sound, some of them may have a id sound, and some of them may have a d sound. And it's very important that you can get the difference there, because that will help you sound much more like a native and be much more understandable while you're speaking. So, firstly, let's have a look at this. So, id, we have wanted. Wanted. Can you repeat that? Wanted. It's very important that you pronounce the id at the end. So, wanted. Wanted. Not want, not wand. It's wanted. There we go. Next up, we have the d sound, as in filled. Can you say filled? Make sure you get the d at the end. Filled. Filled. Once again. Amazing. Good job. Next up, we have the t ending, which is from the word, well, the word kissed is one of them. So can you repeat the word kissed? Perfect. So yeah, make sure you're getting that t sound at the end. So kissed. Very good, kissed. All right, amazing. So the key is selecting the right pronunciation, and it's listening to the consonant before the last sound. So that is how we know which one to use, because quite often the consonant before the ed will tell us about that, and that is what we're going to talk about. So the pronunciation for id. So this is used when we have a t or a d before the ed. So we would say, okay, planted. And that's because we have the t sound. So planted. You want to go from the t to the id. You want to like bounce off of it, you see. Next up, we have needed. You see, we have the d and we can say needed. Repeat. Very good. Very good. Next up, adapted. Adapted. And we have the t sound, which is why we have the ed sound, id at the end. So remember, id. And next up, added. Added. Can you repeat? Added. Yeah, good job. So that id. Remember when we have the t or the d, we add the id. Okay, so yes, remember that one and you can't go wrong. Next up, we have the pronunciation for t. And why do we use this? Why do we use t? And when do we use it? So we use this when we have a lighter sound before the ed. So we use maybe sounds like GH, when our vocal cords aren't being used too much. The way that you can practice this is by putting your hand on your chest, and if your chest vibrates a lot, then you know that it is not one of these sounds. But if your chest doesn't vibrate too much, then you can be pretty sure that it's one of these sounds. So that is how we know. So we have laughed, the laughed. The GH isn't making any kind of vibration on your chest. So here we have the t, laughed, laughed. It's the f sound, f. No vibration at all. Laughed. Very good. Next up, walked, walked, walked. Can you feel that? There's very small amounts of vibration there. Okay, can you repeat? Walked. Very good. Next up, we have washed. Washed. Shh, shh. No vibration there. Washed. Washed. Keep practicing and keep following along and keep saying what I'm saying, because that will help you get used to these verbs and also help you get used to the sounds. So when you're actually using them, you'll do it from just your memory and how the word actually feels. There you go. Next up, helped. Remember the p. It's not making too much of a vibration there. So we say helped, not helped or helped. Helped. Okay, and that's perfect. And it's quite, as it says here, a sharp and quick sound. So can you just follow along on the t sound? Try and say it very quick. T, t, t. Let the air like shoot out of your mouth. T, t, t. Okay, very good job. Very good job, everyone. And just keep practicing that, because the more you practice it and the more you practice words that have these, the more you'll be able to use them just from your own intuition. Very good. Next, we have the pronunciation for d. D. Great. So we have this on the kind of the opposite to this one here. So the words that do vibrate when you put your hand on your chest. So the voiced words, as we call them. So we would say played. A. You can feel that vibration there. Played. There you go. Grabbed. B. It's very, yeah. You see what I mean? Next up, imagined. Imagined. Once again, can you repeat? Imagined. Good job. And just so you know, if you go up to the right-hand corner of the video, we have a link up there, which means you can get all of the things on the video, or all of the things on the screen here, and a quiz which you can take and let us know how you do, and it's all for free there. And you can also, if that link does disappear, you can get it down in the description below. So next we have called. It's one of these very voiced words. There's a proper vibration there. So that is when we use the d sound. And once again, can you repeat the d? Okay. Can you once again do the t? And then id. So the tongue isn't on the top of the mouth, and then once you say the d, that's when the tongue should hit the top of the mouth. So id. Very good. Very good. And just keep practicing that. Remember that the D is one that we need to think about when it comes to using more of our vocal cords, because the sounds that are before the D here, we need, they have much more of a vibration to them. They are voiced sounds. So you want to go over that vibration to get to the letter, and to get to the sound. So here we have loved. You're almost flying over that v to get to that D. So next up we have hummed. The m is the vibration there. So you want to go past that to get to the ED, which is pronounced as D. Lovely. So next up we have robbed. So yeah, just keep on practicing them. And the more you practice them, the easier it will get to identify the right ones. Because after a while, you'll just get used to it. You'll be able to tell which is which just from hearing. And you won't even be able to say why you know that, but you will. So just keep practicing. But it's good to have a solid understanding of why you're doing that as well. So next up, we have a couple of tips to make it easier for you. With D and T, these are sounds that we make when we're pronouncing ED that can be very easily mixed up, you see. They're quite similar sounds and they're very easy to mix up. So when you're first starting, don't worry, don't beat yourself up about it. Just allow it to be and just keep practicing, keep doing examples. Go back to the start of this video if you want, and you can keep going through them. And after a while, it will just become second nature. But the one that I want you to really focus on now is id. id is a bit different. It can change the sound of a word. So you really want to focus on that. Otherwise, people may find it a little bit more difficult to understand what you're saying. So you want to practice the id and over time get used to the D and the T sounds. And that's perfect because, yeah, as I've said, it's natural to get those mixed up, but just trust the process and over time you'll get them. That's great. Okay, so to summarize, remember the straightforward rule. When we have a T or a D, you want to use the ID sound at the end. It even rhymes. So you have D or T, use ID. So D or T, id. So pronounce ED as id. Next up, other endings. When you have a non-voiced word, so something that doesn't make your chest vibrate when you're speaking, you'll add the T ending. And then when you have the voiced word, the ones that do add the vibration there, you want to add the D sound. That is quite important as those are the differences of those. So, and we have some examples here. So if you can say danced, danced, good one. Smiled, smiled. Did you get them right? Let us know down in the comment section below. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope that this helped. If you need, you can go back to the start of the video and watch again. Please go up and press this link up here and you can get all of the things that you've seen on the board behind me and more as we have a quiz for you to do, and let us know how you've done in that, and you can also get it down in the description below. Please like, comment and subscribe. My name is James and we've been I Speak Spoke Spoken. Joyfully.